Welcome to this week's edition of Daily Hope Behind the Music. Today I'm going to take you on a journey across the ocean to a country that's near and dear to my heart. After I graduated from college, I took the opportunity to study abroad for 2 years. I had friends who were in Romania and Poland, several in the Netherlands, but I wanted to go to Austria. For some reason, Austria was a place that had just always appealed to me. Perhaps it's because I grew up watching The Sound of Music. Who knows? If you'd like to go back and visit my old blog from while I lived over there, we'll put that up for you to see on the screen. There's some old pictures and little thoughts that I had many years ago, but it might be interesting as a little travelogue for you. So I was accepted to study at 2 universities, either in Vienna or in Linz. But as soon as I met the professor from Linz, I knew he was the one I wanted to study with. He came to the United States to do a concert, we got to talk, and we immediately connected. And so I moved to Austria to study with August Humer, affectionately known to students and friends as Gustel. From the instant that I arrived in Linz, I was immersed in music. Gustel picked me up at the train station. I had all of my luggage. I'd been traveling for what felt like a week. I think it was probably 2 days. And he drove me from the train station to my apartment, gave me a map and said, "Kristin, there's a concert at 7:30. So I took my bags in, found my room, took a shower, ran to McDonald's because I'd seen that as we were driving in, ordered a salad in really broken German, and then made my way to the Holton Dome to hear my first concert in Austria. From that moment on, I was treated as just one of the studio, and it was so much fun to get to study and to go to concerts and to see all these beautiful organs. But before I had moved there, Gustel had had cancer, and it had been in remission for a long time. But shortly after I arrived, it came back with a vengeance. So there were weeks where he would be in the hospital, he'd be having treatments. I would go to the hospital, I would sit with him. Sometimes we would discuss music. Sometimes if he was well enough, we would walk through the garden outside and just talk about life things. I learned so much just being able to spend time with him and talk. When he was out of the hospital, you wouldn't know that he was suffering with any health problems. He was always taking us to different villages to play different organs. He was still performing as regularly as he could. We were attending concerts. We were discussing things. It was just go, 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 go. He was riding his bike to get places. The man just had so much energy and such a love for life. And it was a joy to just be able to learn from him. I really looked forward to going to lessons because he always had fresh and exciting perspectives. He would make interesting notes in my music that would help me remember. I have a fond memory of one lesson that I had with him where there were some repeated passages and I wasn't making them unique enough. And he said, "Kristin, look at all the naked babies. Look at all these naked babies in the church. No two of them have the same exact expression. You have to make your music as interesting as these naked babies." And you can see in the picture here that this cathedral was full of all these little cherubs. And he was right. They'd all been carved and they were all unique. And so just little things like that made it exciting to study and learn from him. Towards the end of my first year in Austria, I was invited to play a concert at the Neue Dome, which was the biggest cathedral in Linz itself, but also the largest in all of Austria. Not the tallest, because Stephansdom spire is taller, if you've ever been to Vienna, and the Bishop of Vienna would not let Linz have a taller spire, so the architect had to shorten it, but it is still a larger church. Very large, beautiful Murchison organ, and just a real privilege to be asked to play there. I was nervous. Gustel and I worked on our program. What was I going to play? How was I going to register it? And then shortly before my concert, he took a turn for the worst. And so he went into the hospital, and I said, "Gustel, I can't play this concert without you." I'd done some performing around, but he'd always been there either to turn my pages or just to support me. And he said, "Kristin, you'll be fine. You know what you're doing." A friend of mine agreed to come, and so he came and turned pages and assisted me. And I played the concert in this beautiful space. And as I was leaving the loft, my phone rang. It was Gustel. "Kristin, you played brilliantly." And I just laughed. I was like, "Gustel, how would you know?" This was before everything was live streamed. I said, "You didn't hear me play." And he said, "Kristin, I have absolute confidence. We've laid the foundation. You were ready. I know it was a great concert." And that meant so much to me. Our message this weekend is called The Main Thing. What is the main thing? We have to keep it in mind, right? Pastor Steve is going to be talking about how Jesus Christ is our foundation. He's the main thing. He's the only thing, and we have to keep it central in our life. Just like Gustel had laid the foundation for me to be prepared to play this big concert without him there to hold my hand, we have the confidence that Jesus Christ is our foundation. One of the hymns that we're going to be singing this weekend is The Church is One Foundation. The Church's one foundation is Jesus Christ, her Lord. She is his new creation by water and the word. From heaven he came and sought her to be his holy bride. With his own blood he bought her, and for her life he died. That's the main thing and the only thing that we need to remember. Jesus Christ is our sure foundation.